This episode is brought to you by...
Looking to escape the ordinary and explore the extraordinary? Meet Janny Kovacevic, your personal luxury travel expert. Whether you're craving an epic expedition to the Arctic, a sun-soaked, all-inclusive getaway, or a once-in-a-lifetime trip with the whole family, Janny curates every detail for a seamless, unforgettable experience.
From bucket list adventures to multi-generational family vacations, she tailors travel to your pace, your passions, and your people, with luxury every step of the way.
Don't just travel, explore in style, discover with ease, and make memories that last forever.
Call 254-721-2000 or visit travelbyjanny.com and start planning your dream escape today.
They'll talk about anything and to anyone. They're straight out of the streets of Temple, Texas. It's Randomness with Heath and Josh.
All right, we're back. What's going on, Josh? How you doing?
Good. Just staying consistent.
Staying consistent. You consistently have a saying every time we start. That's how that works.
Do I?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, it's a new thing. You've been doing it for the past few episodes. Cool. Cool. We've only had to redo it like 3 times once. It's all right. It's all good.
Right.
What you been up to? How's things going?
The school thing is like the work school thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times. So what you got coming up with the school?
The school, I'm at the halfway point. So my school, I don't have semesters, I have terms. So this is the ending of the 6-month term, and I'll go into my final term at the end of this month.
You hope it's your final term.
I know.
Because you've got a final coming up, right?
That's right. And if I don't pass it, it may push me into 2027. So
no, let's not do that. I'm sick of you having to go to school, and I'm not even going to school.
I'm sick of me having to go to school.
Yeah, right. Well, anything else, or is that just everything school? I mean, how's the new position at your job going?
It's busy. I was working like 10 to 12 hours a day for like 2 weeks, just kind of getting a jump on things.
Sure.
But I got it down to about 8 hours now, so that's good.
The guy that took
Getting
over
in the
your
groove.
other position, has he been leaning on you a lot too, or no?
So far, yeah.
You're like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, and he's having to manage those people that you were having to manage.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
So I'd say it's pretty nice not having to supervise anyone.
Yeah. I have to supervise one person, and it's great because he doesn't do. It's like his job is basically 2 things to do. It's like, if you're not doing those 2 things, and why are you here? You know, it's like, it's super simple. But anyway, I couldn't manage a bunch of people. That's for sure.
I will say it's nice to be able to kind of, I don't want to say sit back, but to be able to just to focus on doing my stuff and just like working and
no interruptions
done. So
yeah. Right on.
It's changed.
It's been kind of slow, but I did have 2 things I was going to talk about. One, so if y'all remember several episodes back, it's been it's been over a year since I bought the Gladiator, right? And if y'all remember, right after I got it, I got hit in the tailgate once, and then hit it again, like within like a week or 2 or whatever it was. So got it all fixed, put on a new steel bumper, so if someone were to run into me again, it wouldn't take the hit and whatever. So this week, someone ran into the back of my truck again, and this time they took out they took huge dents in my tailgate, and they did hit the steel bumper, and it scratched it a little bit, but it definitely stopped them from going like any further. But this truck, like my truck sits up kind of high. So
dude, the thing is big. It's bold red. How do people miss it?
Yeah, right. Like I can't figure it out. And they hit it. It had black transfer on it, and was a kind of I think it was like somebody's cattle guard type thing on the front of their truck, maybe, because it had that feel to the paint. And I got it all off, all the paint off, and for the most part, there was a few little scratches and stuff. You know how I am. I'm freaking OCD particular about everything, especially my cars. And anyway, couldn't figure out who did it while we were wherever we were in Denton for that day. It was Father's Day of all time. I'm having my Father's Day dinner and someone's hitting my truck. Yay. And so anyway, I get it all buffed out and I find this guy to come do it mobily and fix it. He basically makes it worse than what it was before. And
Wait,
and I paid the guy.
He was gonna pop that dent out.
So previously when I had this done the first time, someone made a pretty big dent in it, and I got a mobile guy that does it for a living, but on the side he does mobile work, comes out and fixes it. And this guy did a really good job. For whatever reason, I've lost that guy's contact. I looked all of my emails, my phone, my everything,
He's
trying
like,
to figure out. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, but he was awesome. So I had to find somebody new, same situation, does it for a living, does it on the side, comes in, says, hey, it's going to take me, 30 minutes or so. And I'm going, man, that guy last time took almost 2 hours to get that one small dent out, whatever, to make it perfect, whatever, but whatever. Okay. He does his thing. And then I come out and he's like, so this stuff that's all over it is turtle wax mixed with icy wax and something else. And it's covered all the dents and it has to cure for like 24 hours. Park your truck in the sun so it gets hot or whatever. And I'm like,
what?
Man, I've had 30 cars in my very short time of driving over the last 35 years. I've literally had almost 30 cars, right? Maybe 20. Anyway, I've had a lot of cars. And anybody and everybody I've ever talked to, and I've done it myself, when you put wax on a car, you take it off pretty dang quickly, and you definitely don't put it in the sun because it'll dry and make marks, and it's so hard to get out, blah, blah, blah. I even had a neighbor one time when we were kids that happened to her truck, and it never looked the same again.
Ooh.
Anyway, so I listen to what he says. I look it up. Mobile guys do it. He left. I even called him. I'm like, dude, are you sure this is just going against everything I've ever? And he's like, I promise. And he's like, look, and so two of the creases had dents in them. And if you know anything about creases being dented, it's very hard to get the creases back. It's really, really hard. So he's like, look, 75% of this is going to look really good, but the other's going to still be there, not perfect. I'm like, I'm fine with not perfect. I just want it to not look like humongous dents in the back. So anyway, yesterday I come home from work. I wash all this stuff off, which was not easy to come off, which he told me it would be super easy. I literally had to buff it all out, and it's basically worse than what it was before. And now the guy has ghosted me. So, yeah, at first he didn't. At first he was like, hey, I'll help you out. I'm in Oklahoma with my family member, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, yeah, I'll, just give me some time. I'll get back with you. But if you go look at everything, the guy's legit. He has legit reviews. Like, he had a huge setup with all the stuff, everything that it all checked out. I would have never did anything if I didn't feel good about it. Right. And now he's just straight up ghosted me, but he hasn't blocked me from his anything, even though I've been kind of wearing him out a little bit. And I've come to Jesus, if you will, on this deal that I'm probably gave up the money and I'll never see this guy again. Yeah. And me, man, it's going to drive my OCD with that is going to drive me freaking nuts. And I'm trying to just let it go. So I'm not going to say how much I paid him, but it was a lot. Stupid money. Yeah. So
just be persistently pleasant with him.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Make him come around.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just not. If he calls me, I will. But I just don't see it happening at this point. But just to put it,
looking at that dent, I didn't think that it would come out.
Well, it came out.
You had to get a new tailgate.
Well, see, and that's the next thing. I was trying not to have to do that. And a brand new one that's painted and ready to go is over $2,000. One that's just plain, and I go just grab one, is around $1,400 maybe. He offered to totally clean it up, make it do everything with new paint and everything for around $1,400. I was like, look, I don't want to spend that money right this minute. I just want you to make it look decent, whatever. Anyway, long story short, it sucks. I'm pissed. For the last 2 days, my anxiety is so high because of the OCD in me. I can't even look at the back of the truck.
Ugh. You got to take care of my Jeep.
Right? You want to buy it?
Yeah, that's the plan. Hand me down.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fuel mileage is killing me now anyway. I mean, I'm getting like 16, 17 miles to a gallon. Really? I'm driving 60 miles, round trip every day to work and whatever. So, but me, I try to wait at least 2 years before I buy something else. Yeah. And it has only been like 14 months. So, Yeah, Cody would probably kill me if I came home with another car, but it's my car anyway. Okay, so another thing before I wanted to mention too is we have 2 live shows coming up, both on the same day. One at Neighbors on 7th again, like the last one, in support of Jat Music. That's Jacob Corley, aka Jacob All Trades. He's playing there that night, the 25th. He's going to be there from 7 to like 2. We're gonna be inside doing a show from 7 to 9 because it's way too hot to be outside on July 25th. So we're gonna be inside. Come hang out with us. The event stuff should be out soon on Facebook, so you can go watch it at home or come hang out with us. Come and be on the show.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, dude, we want to talk about something. Jump on. We're gonna do it for a couple hours. But previous to that,
we need 2 live crews.
2 live crews.
one at Neighbors and one at
2 live crews. But anyway, then previous to that, we're going to be at the new Pizza, Wings, and Things in Temple from 2 to 4. So we're going to have an hour to get the heck out of there. No, well, I take that back. 2 hours to get out of there, get whatever, and then go over to Neighbors. Mike Dent, who has been on the show, that owns that, and his GM and daughter Jessica, they asked us to come in. We're going to go over there and do a show there. So again, that's one, definitely come, because the place is amazing. I went and visited it last weekend just to scope it out. Man, that place is awesome. It was rocking too, man, and they just opened and it was overflowing in the middle of the day. It was like 2:30 or 3 o'clock. Place was just packed.
Nice.
So come hang out with us there. I've ordered new giveaways. If anything, come get you some giveaways or whatnot. Come check it out. Come talk to us. I wish people always kind of do that stare, and then as soon as you look at them, they look away. Whatever. Dude, just come talk to us. We'll talk to you. Come out. Come hang out with us. So anyway, I feel like there was something else I was going to say, and I can't remember. Maybe I'll remember it at the middle.
Yeah,
or at the middle, at the end. At the middle? Why did I say in the middle? What the heck is wrong?
Because that's when you'll remember.
Probably, yeah. And then I'm like, I got to write that down. But anyway, so it's episode 159. We're what is that? 41 away from 200. Are we gonna make it? I don't know. Man, that's like almost a whole other year. I don't know.
America's saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's that.
Am I gonna make it?
My anxiety went up and I got the chills just saying that out loud. But yeah, so episode 159, we have another guest vocalist for band Everyone Dies in Utah. You heard that right. Everyone Dies in Utah. Danny Martinez, man. What's going on, Danny?
How's it going?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, man. So let's start at the beginning. Like, we got to ask this first. Like, where does the name Everyone Dies in Utah come from?
Yeah, that's a pretty common question, actually. Essentially, 2008 is when we started. I was in high school at the time. I was a senior in high school, and we had already been practicing as a band for a little while. We didn't really have a name. We kind of were tossing some around, and we had booked a show, and we didn't have a name yet. So we were like, all right, we gotta pick a name. And so we started looking through like a history textbook or something like that, just for ideas. And there was something that said that Utah had the highest death rate in America, or something along the lines of that.
Really?
And somebody was just like, man, I guess everyone dies in Utah. And we're like, that should be the band name. I was like, yeah, we should do that. And then like after the show, we could change it to something better. I don't know, and that was 2008. So I mean,
it's stuck.
Yeah, we never got around to changing the name. So
that's funny.
Stuck with us.
Did you go to Temple High School?
I did go to Temple High School.
And you graduated what? 08, 09?
08.
08. God, man.
Yep.
Everybody's younger than us that comes on our show, Josh. Oh man.
I feel like lately, every time I sign up for something and you put in your age, I feel like the scroll is getting longer and longer.
Right.
I feel like that. I'm definitely getting to that point where I'm like, oh, okay, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I've been at the place where I work for 26 years, and forever I was the young guy, and now it's totally opposite. I'm the old guy, and anybody that comes in, I handle their driver's license and stuff and whatnot. And everybody, I'm older than everybody now. I'm like,
Yeah.
Jesus, man, I'm really starting to feel old, and then they start telling me this is when I graduated from high school. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Screw you. Let's move on to the next question.
Yeah. You remember what you did that year, right?
Yeah. Right. Or like what song came out you liked that year or whatever the case may be. It's funny. You said, how y'all's name came up. I don't know if you remember this, Josh, but remember the time we played Flipnotic's coffee shop in Austin, me, you, and Jason. And we, at the time, we didn't have a name, or we had a name, but we didn't want to say it because we were calling ourselves Famunda, like Famunda the right. And so we were playing this little coffee shop, and we're like, we had to write our name down on some stuff and whatever. And I was like, it's just us, and we all went, oh, Justice, like just us, Justice. And that's how that. So it's funny how things like that, you like something just pops up or whatever. But so what was life like for you growing up in Temple, Texas? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it okay?
I mean, it was fine. I wasn't like, I didn't like high school that much, like I was, I'm a creative. And so when it comes to like having to sit down and do English work or geometry or like that stuff doesn't interest me. So like, it's hard for me to just like focus in on that stuff. So like, I was more involved with like theater and the music scene around here. And at the time, it's when like Flyleaf was popping off and like Greatness and Tragedy was playing, like and so like I was a child when that scene was like starting in Temple, and that kind of is what led me to start the band. I saw there's a band called Astoria Arms. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but I actually saw Greatness and Tragedy at an Astoria Arms show, and I was like, that's kind of where I got the introduction for that band. But Astoria Arms, their energy was insane live, and ever since I had seen them, I was like, I need to get on stage and I want to put out that same energy. So other than like I didn't hate growing up in Temple. Like I don't mind it at all. Like, there's like, I feel like I do see a lot of people posting about like, oh, this city sucks, I got to get out of here, and like, like you got to get out of your city and whatever. And I've always thought that you kind of create your environment in a way. Like, yes, sure, like some things could suck, but it's your perspective on like what you're doing. Like, why does all this stuff suck for like you specifically? But I'm fine. Like, I don't like, we don't have to, I don't know. My dad lives in San Antonio, and he when he goes to work, he has to drive like an hour in the same city that he's in. And like that stuff like is just sounds crazy to me. But like, that's just like in a small, scale. Well, you're in Dallas, so I mean,
I've been doing it for 26 years. I've been doing drives like that.
I mean, like, it's just things like that. But like, even like in a smaller scale, like just like the people, like I surround myself with good people, so I never felt like I was like, oh, I'm stuck here, I got to get out of this place. Like,
right.
I enjoy it. Like I find all the good people, and I guess it like makes it a better situation for me. But
sure. Yeah. I mean, it was the same way. Like for me growing up there now when we were growing up, Temple was 50,000 people.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot to do. And that's not us complaining. There was not a lot to do for kids. Now I'll give them this. They had teen clubs back then.
Yep.
So they had these little clubs that we could go to and hang out on the weekends and do little, dancing. We thought we were cool, doing the freaking the Running Man and shit. But they did have things like that, and most of it was a lot of it was actually done through churches and stuff too. But it wasn't like force it down religion down your throat type things. It was a way to get kids to get together and do stuff. Mm-hmm. And now it's funny. It's like when I left, I went to College Station and all this stuff, and ended up here, almost 30 years ago now and whatnot. It's like, I'll never go back to Temple. I'll never go back to Temple. Now I can't wait to go back to Temple.
Yeah. I mean, like recently, like everything has just been like popping up, and it's like there's so much more to do. Like obviously, like since back then, but like I don't know. Like I feel like There's like almost every week there's something going on in the city now, and it's actually been pretty nice.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, and one Rob Brandenburg he's done at Neighbors.
Yeah,
the guy over at Bird Creek Is that what it's heard? Is it Bird Creek?
Yeah.
Bird Creek, and then O'Brien's has
is
hung
so
around for O'Brien's has hung around forever, and our buddies the Leshikers own that deal, and they've had that forever. And it's really it's great because before they came in where that spot is, I mean, it was just a rotating door of things until the O'Brien's, and they've been there forever. And they're trying to revitalize down there. I've talked to several people because of what we do with the show that are trying to do things down there, and it sounds like to me they're still asking a little bit of too much money for some of these businesses to come in. And I realize that they need it, but it's like, hey, why don't we start a little lower and get these guys in there, get them support them, and then once they thrive, then go back to that. But what do I know? But Rob, the old mayor of the mall, I heard that the other day. Rob Brandenburg, the mayor of the mall. Well, so you were talking about the Flyleaf and whatnot, which we had Jason, the guitar player, on a while back. It's been a while. Yeah. Jason, is that right? Yeah. And Hartman, is that his name?
Jared
Hartman. Jared Hartman. Sorry, 150-something people. You everything. But
who names?
Yeah, me too. Well, who else? What other influences besides the local bands on you? Like as far as
larger bands, like whenever I first started getting into music, My Chemical Romance was like my big that was my band, and they're the reason why I went to Warped Tour. Like I went to Warped Tour on accident because I saw that they were playing in San Antonio, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna get tickets for this." And at the time, Warped Tour was only like $30-something for like all the bands
all day.
And so I got tickets for that, and I got my aunt to take me or something like that, and we just didn't know what it was like at all. We didn't know it was Warped Tour. I just knew My Chemical Romance was gonna be there, and so like 2004, I'm seeing My Chemical Romance at like this small stage, and they're like this massive band in my mind. Now I saw them like a year and a half ago at the Ranger Stadium.
Was it 2004 in Dallas?
I went to San Antonio.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell this story real quick, and I know if the listeners are going to be like, quit telling this story. But because you're a big fan, I have to tell you. So Warped Tour 2004, I'm with a band called Junior. They're a pop punk band who used to go to Temple all the time. And that's how I know Kurt and them, because they used to play together all the time. And anyway, so Junior I was just part of their crew and stuff because they were friends of mine. And they were on Warped Tour, and they were playing the Ernie Ball stage, the smaller stage.
Yeah.
Next to us with our merch, My Chemical Romance. Now, My Chemical Romance was not, they were big-ish.
Yeah.
But they didn't have a hit on the radio yet, right?
Yeah. They had put out that album that had
Helena.
Not Okay. Yeah, and Helena.
That's what hit. So it was maybe been less than a month after we talked to these guys, hung out with them. They were as nice as can be. We're like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And like 3-4 weeks later, Helena hit the radio, and it blew up. And we're like, what? We just hung out with those dudes.
Yeah.
Whatever. So yeah, I was like, dude, if you were at the 2004 Dallas one, I was literally there next to My Chemical Romance or whatever. But they were really nice. And I've been around a ton of bands, and not all of them are really nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Same.
Yeah. No, we did a show with Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Yeah.
And like the singer was cool, and the other guys were relatively cool. We were back in the green room with them and what. But man, the gal that was married to the singer at the time was also the merch. She was the rudest person I've ever met in my life. I'm like, chill out, dude. You're just selling some t-shirts.
I don't understand that mindset. Like, if you're, I don't know, the music industry, sometimes some people take it too seriously. Like,
here to have fun.
Everyone started bands to have fun, and it gets to
be creative.
Like, what's the point?
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off. What was other influences you were going to say? A couple more,
other influences. There's a band called Chiodos that I was really big into around that time. 30 Seconds to Mars was like the early 30 Seconds to Mars. Like their new stuff is not like my favorite, but like their old stuff is so good. They're the first two albums.
Jared Leto's voice is amazing.
Yeah, it's weird that he's like a cult leader now, but like his music is so good.
That dude's amazing, man.
Yeah. We saw him. So me and my wife went to see him for one of our anniversaries, and the next day we found out she was pregnant. So I blamed Jared Leto. But you know what? I get it. I was there. I was at the concert. I get it. I get why it happened. So I mean, but no, he legit he came out with this cape thing, and it was flowing.
Yeah,
and then
dude.
Mid set, he had a flamethrower. I was like, what the hell is that? Is that a shirt cannon or something? And no, it was a flamethrower. I was like, this is crazy.
The dude's awesome.
Yeah.
He just stuff comes to his head and he goes, "We're gonna do that."
Yeah, he's there was some seats that were super VIP seats that I guess you had to. It's season holder pass holders for those seats specifically, and you can go to concert. And he was like, "What's up with these seats right here? Why aren't they filled?" And there was it was almost a sold out concert except that patch of seats. He's like, you know what? Those seats are on me. Just let them in. And so he
Wow.
didn't care what the crew was or the workers were. He's like, no, I'll get those seats. Y'all can go sit there. And so everyone, I already had good seats, so I was like, I'm good. But there was people in the lawns that were running for these seats. So, I mean, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I bet.
That's cool. So what genre of music do you call Everyone Dies in Utah? I've listened to a little bit, and for me, I'm trying, but I can't quite figure out what I want to put it in.
Can't put your finger on it.
Yeah, I mean the core of it is metal, but when we write, at least for me specifically, I don't like to just put us in a box of just doing metal. So our spectrum of songs are all over the place, but
right.
So we just, when we tell people we're a metal band, but we do have songs that aren't very metal. We do have some soft songs, and I just leave that out, because it's too hard to go down the line and be like, we're metal except for this song and this song, and this song's not very metal either, but this one's very, very, very metal. If you heard this, you wouldn't think those other songs were us,
right.
So, but which I've always liked that take on music. There's a band called Anna Shikari, and they're from the UK. They are my favorite band. I'm constantly on the Spotify rap. They're I'm the top 2% top band or whatever. They're I listen to them
biggest band, yeah.
But it's because they don't have boundaries on their genre. They almost literally write, I guess, what they're feeling or what they feel like writing. And their vocalist is a DJ, so all the electronic stuff is insane. They just have the craziest electronic sound. They have the frontman has started playing trumpet on some songs, and he plays it live. And so there's just and there was a song we did go to the UK one time, and I got to see them play in the UK. And in the UK, they're huge. They sold out Wembley, and but over here they're playing smaller venues that are more personal. But I wanted to see that UK performance because it's this massive production. And I'm a nerd when it comes to production. I'll go to the shows, and the first thing I look at is all the production stuff before I even give a shit of what's going on with the band. What is the band doing? I don't care. I'm oh, is that one of those lights? I wonder what that light does. I'm looking at production. But yeah, their production was huge in the UK. And so they had a song that was a piano song, and it was a ballad, and I started crying because it was it was a weird moment. The music just hit me in the craziest way.
Been there.
I was in the UK watching my favorite band, and he was playing this song that was kind of about going through struggles and stuff, but persevering and all that. And the full band comes in towards the end of the song, and then they had confetti cannons go off, and it was crazy. it was a moment.
That's funny. There's this band that was from Austin they were winning all these rock awards in the 90s called Push Monkey. And I was a big fan of them. And the guy that was the singer was also he played trumpet in the UT band. And so they would have, there's these songs. He's one of my favorite bands to this day.
Yeah.
And he'll play trumpet on it every once in a while, and it worked. And they were a rock band, a pretty hard rock band. And it was really cool. And then you were talking about how you kind of go all over the place. There's the band Beartooth.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
like I have songs that I really, really like by them, and then I have songs that I just like, what is that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what?
for
Why
sure,
did
for sure.
y'all do that? And so I know what you mean whenever you're talking about you're kind of all over the place or whatever.
Yeah.
What did you guys at some point? So you started in 2008. Did you guys get signed at one point? And if
We
you
did.
did, how did that happen?
We did. We got. I mean, we were just playing. We were just playing shows everywhere, booking our own tours, like just doing like the DIY thing. And on top of that, we put a lot of work into our live set so that it wasn't just us standing there with our instruments. Like I told you, that band Story Arms inspired me with their energy, and so I wanted to do that. Like I made sure like the guys that joined the band knew that like we couldn't just like stand there and play. Like
Gotta
no
have some
matter what you're
theatrics.
playing, you have to go hard, like no matter what. And on top of that, I have a theater background, so like lighting and all that stuff, like I wanted that to be part of our show. And so like our live show, it wasn't just a common or a basic local band performance. Like on top of that, because we were playing in Temple a lot, I didn't want to do the same things over and over. Like every time we played, I tried to add something that like nobody's seen before or no one around here has done. And so we were doing that. But then when we started touring to like the other cities and other states, we were doing the same thing. And people were just like, I guess it just like got around, that we're a good live band. And we just, I guess, played in front of the right people and we did get signed, which I'm not like super, super stoked on. It wasn't like a major label and it wasn't like a great contract or anything, but it did open doors for us to like do really cool things with our lives that I would have never thought, I could do. Just like we started this band in my garage and it was like, now we're like touring the country. So like it's,
Who did y'all sign on with?
They're called the first label that we signed to was Tragic Hero Records. They were a subsidiary of Warner Brothers, and they actually just sold our catalog to another record label. So it's like,
that's standard in the music business.
So I mean, but yeah, I think what happened was with that label is that they signed a bunch of bands, smaller bands, all at the same time because one of their big bands that was like their big moneymaker had just broken up. And so they signed all these bands hoping that one of them would hopefully one of them would like, do well. And I think they didn't invest in us a lot. I don't know if they like really thought we were going to do that great. And we ended up doing really, really well. Like, cause this is a time where like, it's like right between streaming and and CD sales. So like, our royalties were coming mostly from CD sales versus streams. And like, it was like, we were in the weird in between.
That's a hard time.
Yeah, it was a strange transition for music. But we did really, really well. And we sold a lot of like physical copies of our album. And a lot of the other bands that got signed and the ones that they did put money into, a lot of them broke up almost instantly after their first album. So it felt good. Not that they broke up. Like I've never like really like tried to compete with other bands like that, but it felt good that we knew like we had something, like we were going to do something more with it than just like this one album, then whatever. Like
you guys wanted to work. Like you knew it was going to take work.
Yeah. So I mean, we pushed pretty hard, and then like we did 3 albums with this label, and then started. We did three albums with this label, and then went to a label called In Vogue Records, which they sold, and I don't remember who they sold to, but after that label, we were kind of just at a point where we're kind of like over record labels, because like especially at this point we're like we all know how to record music ourselves, and we've worked with producers, and we don't need to buy for us, record labels were like banks that gave us loans, and we never got any money back from it. And so we're like, if we just do everything ourselves, then we can actually start making profit from it. So
Right. Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, Tragedy, we did get signed, and it did lead us to like pretty cool things, and
Right on.
it was a learning process with all that stuff.
At Temple Smiles Family Dentistry, we treat every patient like family. From kids to grandparents, our team makes sure everyone feels comfortable, cared for, and right at home. A Temple native with over 20 years of experience, Dr. Kirsten Gosney will listen to your concerns and provide compassionate, individualized care because your family smiles deserve the very best. Come see Dr. Gosney at 2302 South 37th Street in Temple, Texas, or learn more at templesmilesfamilydentistry.com. That's templesmilesfamilydentistry.com, or call them at 254-773-1970. Temple Smiles Family Dentistry, where healthy smiles begin. Right.
Yeah.
Is it like, for me, like I've because I was hanging out with those bands in the early 2000s, and I went through the transition that you're talking about now, and all that thing. Is it, to me, maybe, and you'll know this, is, are you making any money? You're not making money on so much the music anymore, right? It's more the live show and the merch, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The streams, you have to get like a crazy amount of streams on all the different platforms to make anything. And even like the top 40 artists, like they have to like make crazy numbers just to like get money from streams. But those artists can actually they get a massive like revenue from like merch and online merch, and but there is this weird like controversy going on right now, because a lot of venues are starting to take merch cuts that are kind of like over the top merch cuts, and we've dealt with some of them before. Luckily, like we haven't dealt with too many where like venues are like, we want a percentage of your merch sales from tonight. And it's some of them ask for a lot. And the thing is, that money, like, you're already having to like double the price of it because everything's starting to cost a lot more. Like, so to get actual shirts printed, like that costs a lot. And then they want a percentage of that. And then gas is expensive. So like now you got to like, all your money is like,
you're just hoping to break even.
Yeah. It's
nickel and diming you.
Yeah. It's rough with merch sales, but yeah, like, I mean, we've been lucky. We haven't dealt with too much of that, and most of the money we make is from like playing shows and then doing well in merch. And luckily, I work as a graphic designer as my day job, and so I do all our t-shirt designs. And
nice.
I've gotten a lot, like the last run we did. I've gotten a lot of compliments saying that our merch looks really dope, and so like, nice. And I try really hard to make like keep up with all that stuff. So, or like the trends, shirts and all that. And I think a few I've seen a lot of bands that probably should take a couple more I don't know, figure out their merch merch styles a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
And they'll see the merch sales go up, because I think nowadays, like, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to a concert and I go look at the merch, if they don't have a cool shirt, I don't care if they're my favorite band.
Yeah, me too.
That's true.
Because you're not going to wear it.
No, exactly. I want Enter Shikari. I went to one of their shows here in the US and I wanted a shirt, but they didn't have any cool shirts. And I love them, but I didn't buy one because I'm not just gonna buy a shirt. Like, it has to be a cool shirt. And I've had people come up to us that like didn't know who we were. They're like, that shirt's sick. Let me get that shirt. And that's what I want. I don't want, like, it's just like, that's been my mindset on like whenever I design anything. It's like, would I wear this just because it's like my band, or would I wear this because this shirt's cool?
Because it looks cool.
It's gotten us a lot more sales than like
That's
from
smart.
what I've noticed compared to like the other bands that we're playing with.
Yeah, it was funny you were talking about big bands and merch. And when Josh and I went and saw Guns N' Roses when they first came back out, with the almost original lineup.
Yeah,
and they had 2 53-foot trailers, one on each end of AT&T Stadium. And I went back and looked later, because they were posting stats. Each one of those 53-foot trailers netted over $1 million in merch that one night.
God,
isn't that
that's
crazy?
insane.
That is nuts.
Yeah,
I'm like how many shirts they got in there, man? Damn. But at $50 a shirt, because you're going to a freaking Guns N' Roses and you want it so bad, and they just came back. Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Josh and I bought shirts because you're like, we gotta have it. And I'll be honest with you, I've only worn that shirt about 3 or 4 times, but I got the damn shirt.
Some of those are like for the nostalgia purposes. You have to get it.
We grew up on Guns N' Roses, so for us it was a big deal, and and everything. But I want to go see him again. I just haven't the opportunity to do it, and I definitely would go see him again. I was actually going to ask you that, so you answered the question. What you guys have real jobs, if you will. Yeah. Do all of you guys work in the area?
For the we have a few members that are in like the Austin area, and then one of our guys, he actually works with Shane Smith and the Saints. He's like their
oh, okay.
He's the country artist. Our guitar player, he does like their sound and live stage setup and all that.
Right on.
And then one of our guys is like a teacher at a high school, and one of our guys works at Guitar Center, and so I mean, we all are, that's how we get the good cheap equipment, get the
right, yeah. Do you guys? How often do you guys go do a tour? Do y'all do a tour? Or do you do a weekend, or what do y'all do?
The tour, we haven't done as many runs. We've definitely slowed down on tours, just post pandemic. It's been so weird for mid-sized bands like us, because I don't know, just the venues that were good for our size bands, a lot of those closed during the pandemic. And so on top of finding those kinds of venues, it's just I don't know, ticket sales lately have been so weird. I don't know if you guys have seen the it's called the Blue Dot Plague or something like that.
I've heard about it.
Essentially there's people or artists, even big artists like Post Malone and I don't know, just artists in that level that sell on Ticketmaster, and they when you go get tickets, it's nothing but blue dots because their tickets aren't selling.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. The last Texas roundup, we were like, in this economy, you can't this economy, you just tickets aren't going to just sell. You have to give people a reason to go out to do these, really, really go out. Haley Williams is a perfect example of she's doing it right. So she's doing smaller venues to see if there's that kind of demand for these massive stadiums that these artists are doing. But it's hard for us to do. It's not hard for us. It's just not as easy as it was pre-pandemic to
right.
tours, because of how weird the venues and just the way people go out nowadays.
She's gonna pull people no matter what, because she's Haley Williams,
But I mean, you would think Jelly Roll and Post Malone could fill up a stadium, but they weren't selling tickets. I wish I could remember all the artists, because there were so many artists that were just dropping these tours because they weren't selling anything. And
well, I don't know, so there's Pearl Jam's a good example. They do not do Ticketmaster. They do not do Live Nation. They do it all on their own with their company or however it goes. I'm like, why aren't more of them doing it that way? I don't understand why they're all. I know it's probably because of the ease of it.
Probably.
But I mean, you go to let's say you go see whoever it is. You go see Jelly Roll, and you buy a $75 ticket, and it's a halfway decent seat. But after fees and whatnot, it's $145 ticket.
Yep.
And it's just man, you know what? I'll just watch Jelly Roll on YouTube tomorrow. And no knocking on Jelly Roll, guys. He's all right, whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just it's that kind of thing, and it's you think, especially for someone like him, though. Here's a guy who comes from what he says is nothing, or whatever. You would think that guy would be fighting, and he is one of those guys that fights for people. You think he'd be fighting for cheap tickets so people could.
There's a lot of artists that I've been seeing that are not letting people resell their tickets over face value, which is I don't understand why that's not the standard anymore, or at all. It should be that way. my wife went to see Taylor Swift, and she had to do like a whole lottery thing, and luckily she got it and was able to get like wholesale tickets, and her tickets were like still like $400, but like she was on the floor like super close to the stage, and if you got those tickets outside of that lottery, they would have been like $2,000.
Sure. Yeah.
That lottery thing is crazy. Like FIFA did that, and man, there's so many people here, because of the lottery and whatnot. And then who else? The baseball team, the Savannah Bananas.
Oh,
those guys. They're a lottery for that. I put in for lottery every time they're close because you cannot get tickets to that thing.
Yeah,
it's all lottery, and they keep the price low actually, and that's why they fill up every time.
Yep.
Or whatever. And they're playing smaller. Well, now they're starting to play big, huge places, and even there, they're selling out and doing lotteries. Anyway, I didn't mean to get on that Savannah banana train.
No, that's a valid point.
You'd be surprised how often they come up in conversation,
Well, we went. So last year or 2 years ago, we went to Savannah for part of our vacation, and that shit is everywhere. I mean, it doesn't matter. It didn't matter if you're going. It didn't matter where you went into a restaurant, whatever. They were selling a Savannah banana shirt and hat, man.
That's so
everywhere. I was going to go back to so on the road. Do you guys actually do a tour bus, or do you guys do like a small van? And if you whatever it is you do you guys do the prank thing and whatnot?
Oh yeah, we definitely. So we've done both. We actually ended up buying our own. Is like an old church van, and it's blacked out and actually says CIA at the top.
Nice,
but it's like I think it's like Christian. It's Christians in Action or something like that.
That's funny. That's awesome.
We scraped everything else off, and that part is still on there. So it just says CIA at the top of our van.
Nice.
And so my mobile Wi-Fi is a CIA spy van.
Yes.
So like they're gonna be suspicious of it. But yeah, like we like gutted it, and I built like bunk beds in there. So like we do all have beds, and then there's like still room for like I think there's like 8 passenger seats in it still. That
man, that's nice.
And it's a good size. Like it changed touring for us, and then because we went from a 15 passenger van, and there used to be 6 of us in the band. Now we're 5 piece, and it's so much easier like in this giant bus versus like the van. On top of that, we do we used to go when we first started touring, we would go from Walmart to Walmart because we would wake up, go something to eat, and then brush our teeth in there or whatever. And now we're doing Planet Fitness to Planet Fitness because now we could shower. That's the first time that I used the Planet Fitness shower on tour. It's like there was a few of us in the showers, and I was like, "This is so much better. Why haven't we ever done this?" Like it just like changed the game of touring. As far as pranks though, I think the best prank we did was on our drummer and our merch guy. We had gone to like an Applebee's after one of our shows, and they stayed in and they just slept. They wanted to sleep, and so they were in the back of the van sleeping. And so in the Applebee's, we were like planning, and we were like, all right, let's find a sound effect of a car crash, and then like wheels peeling out and stuff like that. And we turned the volume on the stereo really, really, really loud, and we drove around like a random empty parking lot, and just so that they can feel like we're moving, like we're like going somewhere. And then we did the like silent 1, 2, 3, and we pressed play on the like the car crash sound. We're like, oh my god! And like he said that was probably the most scared he ever was in his entire life.
Awesome.
That was done. Like that was.
That's awesome.
Probably the meanest prank that we've done to anyone in the band.
Yeah. you got to do them though. We would do little things like that when I was traveling with the bands. But yeah, I'll tell you one thing that I did learn from traveling with bands is they would if they had to go number 2, they would not stop at a gas station. They would stop at a hotel, and they just walk in the hotel and use the hotel's like bathrooms that are in the lobby, and just act like they just one at a time walked in and out, wait till it was a little busy and just go use it because it was so much cleaner and nicer. And I was like, man, that makes a lot of sense.
I never thought about that.
Yeah. Well,
way
then
better than
the bag of shame was the other one where you'd take a poop in a trash can with the bag, and then you had your poop in a bag, and you had
Oh man,
they
no,
called it
see,
the bag
it
of
never got
shame.
that bad for us.
Yeah, that's what Bowling for Soup when that's I gotta go do the bag of shame.
Oh no, that's so funny. We've done a couple bottles. We had to like do. I actually one time, just threw the side doors open in the van, and I like wrapped my arms on the seatbelt, and then I had from the back, and I
just peed.
Like while we were going like 60 on the highway. Yeah, that was probably the craziest one.
That's funny. So you guys have been doing it for a long time. I mean, since you're in high school in 2008, so like 18 years, is that right? Something like that?
Something like that, yeah. I lost count. I don't. I have to ask my wife like what sometime. Like I don't remember how old I am most of the time.
That's me too, man.
I'm like, wait, how old am I? Oh, okay, cool.
How far has the tour taken you? Like, what's the furthest you've?
I mean, driven? So we've technically we did go to the UK for a tour. We unfortunately got deported before we can play some shows.
Oh wow!
Which was a whole situation that like it's a pretty. Essentially, we got to the UK and a few of the tour dates like we realized hadn't been booked. The booking agent that we had at the time like just screwed us over, and so we're like we had because we had UK dates and we had EU dates, and so the EU dates didn't get booked properly, and so we were like, all right, well let's just chill here in the UK until the UK, because we did run into people at a random pub that were like, so you guys are American, what are you doing here? And we're like, oh, we're in a band called Everyone Dies in Utah, we're gonna be playing next week, and they're like, we got tickets to your show. So like the tickets are selling in the UK and we're gonna have great shows in the UK, but all the EU shows they weren't booked or something. And but we had one show booked in France, and so we had this debate within the band, and we always do everything like diplomatically, like we'll vote, like who, like it's not just like my way or the highway. I should have pulled the plug. I should have like pulled the like I'm the lead vocalist, I'm not going. But I was like, you know what, everyone wants to go. It was just one show. The band Architects and Beartooth actually were playing down the street from where we were going to be playing, and I was like, I don't want to be at our show. I would want to be at that show.
Right.
At our show. Why would anybody else want to be at our show? And literally everyone just wanted to go to Paris. Like we would have to go through Paris to get to this show. And I was like, financially it doesn't make sense. Like we're not even going to get one show. And the gas money it takes from go to that to come back. And then we got to take a ferry back to the UK. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I got outvoted because everyone wanted to see the Eiffel Tower. We did. It was cool. The Eiffel Tower was dope. It was massive. We played that show. 2-3 people showed up, which because like Architect, we were literally
and Beartooth were down the street.
Yeah, we were on the ferry with Architects and Beartooth as we were crossing to France.
Oh, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like, damn, they're right there. They're like right there. And yeah, so then we were heading back to go to the UK, and we got stopped at the checkpoint, and then they were asking for this like paperwork that it wasn't our visas, because we had already done all like the research on that stuff. Like we were good on all that aspect. It was another paper that I don't remember what it was, but basically they started like they're like, we're gonna have to have y'all sit over there for a bit, and it was like a taped off thing. Like we had to like sit, and I was like,
the VIP section.
Yeah, no. I was so petty that I was sitting there. I was like, at least we saw the Eiffel Tower, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was whatever. And actually, as far as like deportations go, like they were actually really nice to us. As far as like, from like what I've heard from like our deportations are, like they're a little bit more intense. These guys were like, they like did my fingerprints, and then they like frisked me, and they're like, all right, can we have your phone? And I was like, oh shit. And I was like talking to my wife and our band manager, and I was like, oh no, they're like putting us in the cell or whatever. And like, then I was like cut communication. Like they took my phone before I could tell them like, hey, they're going to take my phone. So like they're at home not knowing what is happening. And then none of us were responding for like hours. But then they were like, are you hungry? And I was like, I could eat. And they're like, well, what do you want? I was like, what do y'all have? He was like, well, we got noodles, we got lasagna, we got some sweet and sour chicken. I was like,
yes.
I'll take lasagna. Like, all right. He's like, are you thirsty? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty thirsty. I could go for a drink. They're like, well, we got hot chocolate, we got water, I was like, hot chocolate sounds great. And so then they put us in this holding cell, and they throw on the movie Twins, which I guess
it's like a surreal dream.
I love Arnold, so I was like, great. And then they like came in with our lasagna, and they're like, you guys want some chips or some crisps? You guys want some crisps? And I was like, yeah, I'll take a bag. Like, that's cool. And then like they brought us pillows and blankets. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, what is
slumber
happening?
Party?
Yeah, right.
I was like, they're not letting us in. That's why they're being so nice. They're not letting us in the country. And one of our guys at the time, he's the most pessimistic dude. I'm always having to like talk him down. Like at this time, for whatever reason, was like so optimistic that it's like, why would they take this long if they were just gonna let us in? I was like, bro, we're going home. Like we're not playing these shows. And then sure enough, they came in after the movie was over. So like an entire Twins movie.
wait till the movie's over.
Yeah, we watched the whole thing, and finally they come in and they're like, yeah, at this time we're not going to let you into our country. And we're like, shit, okay, because our flights back home were from London. So
crap.
And we didn't get the insurance on it because we were like, well, if we're already over there, we have to get back, right? Why would we need the insurance for this?
Oh, crap.
And so we found this airline called Go Air. I think it's called Go Air. They're not around anymore. They were the Spirit airline of international flights.
Of international, yeah.
It was nuts because like at least Spirit Airlines kind of knew that they were going to shut down. This company, like a few months after the fact that we got back, was just like, we're done. Didn't tell any of their employees. They just stopped. And like we got so lucky because the prices were like insane to get back. And funny enough, we were actually endorsed by Spirit Airlines at the time, so all we had to do was get to an airport with Spirit Airlines to get us back home. But yeah, it was a journey. It was
right on.
That's surreal.
Not have to pay like a massive fine to go back to the UK, but it's fine.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Some chalky milk.
Yeah, lasagna and chocolate milk.
What are you guys working on now, or are y'all have anything that y'all are working on to release anytime soon?
We are actually in the writing process. It's funny because we're trying to find a new way of doing things. Just because of our writing stuff for the last couple albums have been the core group that we have now. Basically we kind of joined together at the start of COVID, and so we were kind of like, we got these new members, and then we were going to do some shows, and then like we didn't do shows for a long time because of COVID. And so we did we did an EP that we did it by our guitar player, started it at his place, would send it to me so I could write lyrics. He would send it to our drummer so he can do the drums. And so it was like very, very back and forth. Yeah. And the process was a little strange because we're not writing it together. And our newest album we did it similar. We didn't have to do it like that, but it just like we were just following the process that we kind of knew. And so now we're trying something new where there are one of our other guitar players works in Austin and works with a studio. And so we're going to meet up there and write as a band in this studio, but also still kind of doing a little bit of the like back and forth thing so we could come in with a little bit of something to like
something kind of ready.
Yeah, just so that it's not like, all right, so what do we do now?
Yeah, to work with. Something
I don't know. I'm also like when it comes to like writing lyrics, I like overanalyze and overthink, and I need to sit and process, because I don't like writing just like whatever. Like I want to write something that has a message.
Sure.
But it makes me mad whenever there's songs that are just like, this is the lyrics. This is so dumb. I hate how much thought I put into this, and this is what's popular, and this is what everyone listening to, and it's
right.
dumbest lyrics.
Yeah, right. Well, sometimes just it doesn't even matter what they're saying if it's just catchy for some people that they'll, and I do that too. I'm sure on some things, but I'll at least go back and listen and be like, okay, now what are they saying? What besides this chorus that I'm doing this to, what else is going on in this song? But that's funny. Just for time's sake, I do want to touch on a couple other things real quick. But you kind of talked about your theatrical background. So you actually don't you do some stuff there locally in like the CAC or something? I don't know.
So I did do at the Temple Civic Theater. I did do a few shows. I did me and my wife did Seussical like a few years back, and then it kind of like just reopened this world of theater, because I hadn't done from that point I hadn't done theater since high school, and so I was like, it kind of just I did Seussical in high school, and then I saw it pop up at the Civic Theater, and I was like, do I go for round 2? Like, I got the exact same part. Like,
oh, nice.
I wasn't even trying to get that part. I just like, I guess because I was a Wickersham brother, and it's a 3-part harmony. There's three Wickersham brothers, and so I got the baritone part because that's my vocal range. I think I could do tenor sometimes, but not. I'm not classically trained as a tenor. The guy who they had as a tenor was definitely a tenor, and so like I ended up getting the exact same role. But yeah, they kind of just opened up that like world to me again, and so I've done a few shows. I haven't done anything like too recent. I honestly can't even remember the last show I did. I think it was. Oh no, I did Addams Family. I don't know if you guys saw like the ads or whatever for Addams Family, but I did Addams Family, and I played a ghost, an ancestor of the Addams Family, and I was like
that's funny.
Like a Shakespearean actor, and it looked so good because I had like my mustache, it was like curled up, and I did the like pointed chin beard thing. Like it looked like I looked like a musketeer.
A little Van Dyke thing going on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it was like it was, and the costume was like I definitely had like the best look.
All right, on it's so I brought that up for a couple reasons, just because I thought that was very interesting. But it was the Lindsay Balabradic. I don't know if you know her or not, but she's a good friend of ours. Mm-hmm. She's always bringing me people, and I had already had you guys on my radar.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm going to reach out to these guys eventually. And she's like, hey, you realize this guy like is a really good singer, not just what he does in his band, and he does theater. And I was like, what?
Yeah,
so he does. So I was like, that's a huge dynamic difference.
Oh yeah, for sure. I definitely pick the shows depending, because I'm not very good at like choir singing. So like the show has to be more contemporary and have like
but still.
Yeah. But it is a completely different vibe than what I'm used to. Like,
no, that's super cool. I was like, that's awesome.
I played the dentist in Little Shop of Horror. Nice. And that was probably like the closest to like both worlds colliding.
But, yeah.
It felt like
my brother was Seymour at the Temple Civic Theater for Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, sick!
Back in the days.
Okay, I was like, wait, was it the recent one? Because
no, it's like back in probably the 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't born.
But speaking of the theater, this weekend I'm going to go see Oklahoma. That's
nice.
Going.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
my wife and I might audition for a few shows for the next season.
Right
there's a lot of banger shows that they're doing at the theater next season.
SpongeBob came around. I was like, I would do that.
I was so sad I couldn't audition for that one. I had like a tour in the middle of the like rehearsals, and I wouldn't have gotten a part. Like if you miss anything, you don't get anything. So I was like, I want to be in that show so bad, and I had to miss out. It was a good show. I did go see it. It was really funny.
Do you have kids?
I do. I'm about to go on month 15 with twins.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a drastic change for us, because we went from like no kids to 2 kids, and it's like what
Oh my
what do we do
God.
here? Like, I don't
It's the
know.
most expensive time ever
Yeah,
to have
it's
kids. You had two of them.
It's like I don't even remember most of last year because of like how sleep deprived we
Oh
were.
yeah, I
And
can
it's
only
still, I'm
imagine.
still honestly catching up. And people are like, "Don't you remember?" No, I don't remember. Well, you got to
Yeah.
remind me. Like, I don't remember things. Like last year was a blur.
Oh,
But
well, my
yeah.
my
But yeah,
question, my next question was, how do you balance music and life and everything? Well, you don't. You just do it.
You just go for it. But no, I mean, honestly, it is like it's a bit like it was funny because you texted me about like like reminded me of the podcast, but like literally my entire life is like on a calendar. Like if I do anything, I have to have it planned. Like I can't do anything unplanned at this point.
Right on. Well, look. So now that we've heard about your band and all that stuff, where can we go to find everything? Everyone Dies in Utah.
Yeah, I mean, Spotify, Apple, like literally anywhere you listen to music, our music's going to be on there. You go to YouTube, we have a bunch of music videos on there. They also have their own music platform now too, or something. I'm not really sure. Literally anything that you can find music, we're going to be on it.
Right on. That's cool. All right.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you one other thing before. Gosh dang it, what was it? If there's anything that you want a fan to take away from your music, what would that be?
There's a few messages that are like a consistent theme that I keep bringing up, and it's like trying to stay positive, even like in the hardest times of life. Like mindset kind of can, for me, I've noticed, can reflect life sometimes. Like even like I'm even at like funerals, I'm the guy that will try to make people laugh. Like even at like I can't not. It's not that I'm not taking stuff like that serious. It's just that
I get it.
It's just that I need positivity, and I feel like that is what helps move people into a better place.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That's definitely. See, it was funny. I thought you were going to say I'm the guy that's crying, because I'm always the guy that's crying. But I'm always the guy too that makes that switch to laughter real quick.
Yeah.
It's because it's thing when there's a negative time, let's turn it around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
and I mean,
remember.
I did have a friend that passed away from suicide a couple years ago, and I did write a song for him, and it's so hard. I do try to like tell people like constantly like message me if you're feeling. I don't care who you are. Message me if you're
I
feeling,
do that.
Like he was the flower girl at our wedding, and he was so funny and he had so much life, and he did call me the week before he did it, and I don't know like what he was calling me for. I don't know if that conversation would have like fixed anything, but like I don't know, like the song that I wrote for him, the message on that is like it was me, the lyrics are me processing it, but I do want to like, if anyone's ever feeling that way, don't stop calling me. Call me again. Call me.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's another message that I would like to let everyone know.
Yeah, and just in general, if you don't have a friend to call, or whatever, I think it's 411 you can call, or 311. Call and talk to somebody. Josh and I both, we've touched on this many times on the podcast, is mental health is very important. It's very important, and you really need, as much as don't take it as embarrassment, take it as you need help, and people are there to help you, and they're not going to judge you. They want you to be okay, and they want to help you be okay. So don't forget that. I hated to end this on such a sad note, but it's
it's
a huge thing for me. I mean, it's just, don't not talk to someone. Talk to someone.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. We really appreciate it. Man, you had a lot of interesting stories. I purposely kind of say this a lot, is I don't look too too deep into someone that's coming on or whatever, because we like to spontaneously
Be
have that
surprised.
conversation
Yeah, for
and
sure.
be surprised about anything. But yeah, man, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're busy. If you've got twins, you're probably got on your mind.
They're sleeping.
Oh,
like,
you're like, oh,
this is
Yeah.
great.
oh man.
Yeah,
I
this
got
is
into
my
your nap time while they were napping. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All right. But the one last thing I wanted to say before we go. So if y'all been noticing, there's a new logo going around. If you're watching on YouTube instead of listening, you can see the logo on my hat. So we're not changing logos. We think of it as a band. You know, when you go to a band and see, like we were talking about earlier, and they have different T-shirts. We're just giving you another option. It's not necessarily a new logo. We're going to stick with 2 logos, if you will, for a while. So you're going to see the old school one that you're used to, that's behind Josh and behind me now. And then this one here. And there's 2 reasons why I did that, because it was time. It's 3.5 almost years. But also, I've had a lot of people that really, they don't, how do I say it? They want to dial it down a bit on the logo, because not everyone likes the skateboard inspired rock hands with the eyeball that's blue, and I get that, like my parents, they have the T-shirts, but they're not going to wear those, it's because they're in their 70s.
We got to appeal to the boomers.
Yeah, and not just that. There's people that, the genre of things that they do that doesn't stick in with, and it doesn't go with. So that's kind of why we did it. The Texas Classic Star, I can't
The
remember.
Lone Star. There you go.
Yeah, or whatever is just a big thing for me. I mean,
Yeah.
I've got it tattooed on me here. It's always been something, and it's also a symbol of punk rock, and I'm a big punk rock fan. So that's why that's there. So yeah, you could go to randomspodcast.com, go down to merch, click on it. So now there's a little bit of everything from both logos. Go check that out. Yeah, and thank you guys for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank y'all.
We're gone.